Well, we're about to attempt it. Drip Works garden bed kit. We bought the medium size. It comes with 100 foot of main tubing, 300 foot of drip line, 100 foot of 1/4 inch poly tubing. It's got your filters, it's got your tees, it's got stakes, looks like all kinds of stuff in here. And we're going to try and run it across our garden beds. Our plan, and it looks like we have enough material, we're not going to be able to do our asparagus, which is across the end, and our strawberries, nor the other side, but we've got soaker hoses in our garden bags and in our new garden beds. But the plan is to start it right here. We will run it straight down the edge. We'll run the soaker hoses this direction across these 3 beds. We'll have to run another main line from here to that corner and come up, and then we'll have soaker hoses across here. Again, we'll do the same at this corner to that corner, and then run our soaker hoses across, and then be able to run them down through each bed, and the same thing on the last one. So let's see how that works. Ralph Mann, Man's Outdoors. I'm no master gardener. I am not an irrigation specialist nor a plumber, but we're about to give it a shot. We'll see what happens and let you follow along in the process. Well, it's a lot tougher than it looked, and the instructions are a little bit lacking, but I did get one bed taken care of. We ran our water line to here. We did our main line all the way down to the end, like I showed you we were going to do. And I started here by putting in some tubing, came up to here, and there aren't enough fittings for us to be able to run main lines up at each one of our beds because we have too many. So I ran regular tubing here. This is drip line, and as you can see, the drip line is emitting. It's actually not right there. Well, yeah, it is. It's just running off the side. So it is working. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, the water is coming out, and I ended up having to come up. I went down to the end, turned it sideways, ran it back through the middle, turned it again with an elbow and ran it back to the end and stopped it down there. So we've got one bed working, and it's not leaking except for where it's supposed to. Actually supposed to take a T at your corners, cut in, put the T's in, run a main line up to here, but it doesn't explain how to shut the main line off before you start running your tubing and your drip line. In the instructions, I've watched some videos and they don't really explain it, but it looks like you're supposed to take your tubing, get it up to here, fold it over, and apparently tape it off to stop the water flow. I'll have to figure that out some more because I've got a lot more garden beds to do. Ralph Mann, Man's Outdoors. This is the 4th day that I'm working on our irrigation system. And granted, I've only had a couple hours a day to work on it, but I said, I think earlier, I was running out of parts. I've ordered more parts from Drip Works. They're not a sponsor. If they'd like to sponsor, I'd be happy to do that for them, but they're not a sponsor. I bought a medium-sized garden kit, and obviously we don't have a medium-sized garden. So today, since I was low on parts, I ran by Lowe's, picked up some of their fittings. Theirs are actually a different brand. Theirs is Orbit, but they work. And so we had, let's see, the carrots and onions bed. We did the onions, garlic, and lettuce bed. Then yesterday we got this bed done, which is our winter squash. It did have lettuce in here. Susan pulled it all up today and has replanted some heat tolerant lettuce. So we've got our drip lines running through here. We've got our main line running across the bottom. And so here I went to Lowe's, and this is an orbit fitting. So I bought a T there. This was a fitting that came with the Drip Works. And so we're going up. I'm going to use an orbit fitting. It just slides down, locks in real easy. I ran the line across to this bed, and I will attach it so that it is attached here on the side, and it runs across here, and we will put our emitter lines on this one. I'm going to do 5 emitter lines in these 6-foot beds so that there's one every foot. I'll be doing the same thing over here where we've got our tomatoes and our onions. Man, those onions are looking good. Look at there. That's a big size onion. That's a good sized tomato coming on too. I had somebody comment in a video I did earlier, said that my tomatoes look scrawny. Well, we pruned them, and in this bed alone we've got 31 tomatoes right this minute. But let's get back to the irrigation. Attaching this fitting is very easy. You just simply press down as far as it'll go, and it locks in place. Then we'll turn around and cut us another piece of main line that's going to go all the way across, and we'll just do the same thing and put an end cap on it. Alright, I'm just going to use a PVC cutter, try and keep it a straight line. If you get it too far off, it's liable to leak. We'll just cut it through like that, shove it in, and that's locked. That's not going anywhere. Same thing on this other end. I'm just going to take the fitting and shove it in good and tight, pull on it, it won't come out. Do want to make sure that you've got the lid closed off good, because sometimes they don't come that way. And we'll just drop this in here. I'm going to stake it, but let's go ahead and punch some holes. See, I'll attach this here too to keep it out of the way, and we're going to punch some holes and we'll start running some drip lines. The Drip Works system comes with a hole punch to punch holes, and so we have these marked every foot. That's how we started our planning. So I'm going to go in at every foot and poke a hole. These are a pass-through emitter, and so we just have to push that in. Sometimes easier said than done. You hear it snap, you're in there good. So there we are. I'll have to try to adjust the camera a little bit on the next one so that you can actually see it. But here we are at the next hole. We're just going to squeeze it, and it pokes a hole. Then we've got the emitter, or transfer barb is what it's called. And as I said, sometimes easier said than done. There we go. Hear it pop. And that one's set. And so we'll just go down the line. We're going to do 5 of those, and we'll come back and we'll put the drip line on. Our drip line that we bought has emitters every 12 inches. And so you can just take the 1/4-inch hose and just shove it down on there. It's in. And then we will walk this to the other end. I'm going to have to come back and feed it down underneath the plants. But let me go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the other end. All right, we've got it down here at the end. I kind of went in between some of the tomatoes, worked them on either side. Here is an emitter right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bulge, and there's an emitter that has water that comes out both sides. Don't want to cut into that, but I'm going to cut down here, and then we will pull that back out. This is what is called a goof plug. This will work on a couple of different sizes. We're going to use a 1/4 inch size, and we're just going to shove that up in here. I say that we are. Let's there we go. Get myself positioned properly, I guess. Hold my tongue right. But all right, now I'm gonna come back and put some stakes in here to hold it in place, and this will be operational. We're gonna do this 5 times across this row. I'll show you when I'm done. I added a big stake here at the end, but I've got medium-sized stakes in 3 different spots. And that's until I go ahead. I've got some 1/2 inch pipe holders or conduit holders. I'm going to attach those to here and run it down, but for the time being, we're going to go ahead and do this so that we can get the water working. I'm going to go ahead and stake the lines down in a couple of different spots so that, well, that didn't work very well, did it? Sorry about that. We're going to stick these down so that we can go ahead and pull them to the other end and get that situated. So we're just going to walk down here and pull our lines that we've already got in place, and I'm going to stake the end pretty much on our 1 foot marker, and then I'm going to pull the one. We've got a couple of them crossed up here. There we go. So this one is for this marker, and we'll stake it off. And this one comes through to the other side. Looks like I may have cut it a little short, but that's okay because the emitter is right here on the end. So the last emitter is right here. We'll move over and get the other 2. Obviously, if you were smart, you would do this before you planted, but Ralph and Susan decided to do this after the fact. So there's my last one. I'm gonna do that. Now all of our lines are taut. We are good to go. We can actually water at this point. I will go back and I'll add a couple more stakes in the middle, and anything that there's a piece of an onion that is being covered up, I'll go ahead and get the line up underneath it. But that bed is ready. That's the bed we just finished. This one we have run water to. I've not staked it or attached it, and I've not done the dripper lines. So that one's next, and then we've got 4 more. We're not going to do the sides just yet, but we're going to get the rest of it so that we can be able to turn on water and get these things watered without killing ourselves. Well, with our irrigation system, these 2 beds are complete. We've got 5 emitters every foot, so we've got 6-foot beds, so we're going on the inside. These are watermelons, beets, radishes, okra. Oh goodness, Susan's planted all kinds of stuff. So this one is ready. That one with the onions and tomatoes is ready. We still have 4 more to go, but I've got more parts ordered, so as soon as that gets here, we'll get that done. Again, this is Ralph Mann with Mann's Outdoors. I have done this in sections. It is capped off, so we can actually turn the water on and be able to water all of the ones that are set up. We're not going to have anything pouring out. We'll just have to manually water the other two. But hopefully by Memorial Day, today is actually Friday the 24th of May. I'm hoping that by Memorial Day we'll have the entire thing set up and complete. I'll give you a show of what it looks like, but so far so good. But some of those videos showing that it's very quick, not so much, or not for us with such a large garden. So for a smaller garden, a couple of beds, I think you're going to be fine in a couple of hours. But this has become a lot of work, so I'll keep you posted. Coming up next, we'll get the other beds done.